And I lay my... Anyway. Anyways, welcome to Page to Picture. I am your host, Kim.
And I'm your host, Tiff.
And it is officially February, and like we promised, we are hitting our favorite Nichols Sparks books and movies this month.
Yes, and today we are walking down memory lane, talking about the movie and book that made a generation cry and fall in love with Bad Boy Landon.
He looks so good to this day. Have you seen what he looks like?
Yeah.
Hello.
But if you didn't get it from those hints, we're talking about A Walk to Remember.
Yes, and there will be spoilers. So as always, if you have not read the book or watched the movie, hit pause and come back later. Otherwise, let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. So facts about the book. So the title is A Walk to Remember. The author is Nichols Sparks. The release date on this one was October 1st, 1999.
Old book.
Old school, definitely. And the genre is romance and drama. The trope is forbidden love, which is my favorite.
Yes.
Tragic romance and coming of age. I know tragic romance is so like
tragic.
Honestly, tragic romance is like Nichols Sparks' like trope. Like that's his.
Yeah.
Like he defined it.
Yes, because I really don't really read books where there is tragic romance, like to the in this time of day. But his books always some kind of tragedy makes me so
honestly
upset.
I think the idea of you is like a tragic romance. They never ended up together in the end.
In the movie, they did.
Yeah, but in the book, they didn't.
Okay, but all of his books and the adaptation has tragic romance.
Hey, you're so right. You're so right. Okay. So this is like the blurb of the book. So in Beaufort. Okay. In Beaufort, North Carolina, in 1958, 17-year-old Landon Carter recalls his final year of high school. At that time, he never imagined he'd fall for Jamie Sullivan, the quiet, devout daughter of the town's Baptist minister. When fate pairs them together for the homecoming dance, Landon's life is forever changed. Through his relationship with Jamie, he experiences profound emotional growth, discovering love, faith, and a life-altering truth.
And I lay hands and hey. Okay, so facts about the movie. The title is A Walk to Remember. Director is Adam Shankman, who has directed literally all of my favorite movies. Like, if you were to ask, what movies do you like? I'd be like, look up Adam Shankman and what movies he directed, because those are it, baby.
It's so true, though.
And I had to list it. I was like, so he directed The Wedding Planner.
Amazing.
Hello.
Love it.
Bringing in the House.
I love that one.
The Pacifier.
Oh my god. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel as a babysitter.
Season 2.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Hilary Duff. Yeah.
The newest Hairspray.
Love it.
And Bedtime Stories. Adam Sandler. Hello.
Oh yeah. Oh my yeah. Wait, The Wedding Planner is like my favorite movie. It's like my go-to. It's my go-to comfort movie, other than like Harry Potter and the Marvel series.
Yeah,
that's like the
one.
I
want like a romance one. Like if I'm laying down, like getting ready to go to bed, I'll put on like The Wedding Planner.
Yeah,
and
Matthew McConaughey.
Hello.
I mean, I'm okay with not Jennifer Lopez, but
I love her in that movie.
Yeah, she's really good. She's funny in that one. And Maximo. Maximo. Who is if you don't know, if you don't know The Wedding Planner, Massimo is Alex from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
and he's the funniest.
So good in there.
The funniest when they were at the wedding venue and they're in the weights with Matt. And he goes, Massimo does this one, Massimo does this. And he's like, one. And then Matthew McConaughey just leaves and he's still counting. It's just so good.
It's so funny.
And when he talks about Jennifer Lopez and he's like, remember, you were ugly and I loved you.
He's like, you had buck teeth.
You had, yeah. It was so funny. I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. I really enjoy that movie. So the release date is January 25th, 2002. Literally like 23 years ago to this date, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so long.
I know.
Okay, and so the cast is simply amazing. So you have Mandy Moore, who plays Jamie Sullivan. And if you don't know Mandy Moore, excuse me, not only is she a singer, but she was also in The Princess Diaries, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, she was Anna Banana and what it was called?
Banana, one of those. You know exactly the scene. Like, he's like, one of those.
He's like, it was from those girls, Anna Banana, Santana Banana. He just kept going. Honestly, The Princess Diaries is like the pinnacle. The Princess Diaries?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we do like an Anne Hathaway month?
I feel
because
like
we need to. The Devil Wears Prada, The Princess Diaries, Ella Enchanted. Like, I don't know if Ella Enchanted is a movie or a book or not, but we gotta do it.
Ella Enchanted is a book.
Okay, perfect. And honestly, we might as well do a combination of Anne Hathaway and Stanley Tucci. Because they're
well,
Princess Diaries, she's like, Gupta. Wait, who is also, by the way, Christina from Grey's Anatomy.
She's like this, like, Gupta. Queen is coming.
I love that movie so much.
I know, me too.
So
I
good.
love these movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, always, all of our movies seem to like always connect. It's like 7 Degrees of Bacon or whatever. You know how they do that? How
the Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah, but ours is Anne Hathaway.
Yeah,
in the realm of books and movies.
The Anne Hathaway game.
Yeah, so
which Mandy for some reason is also Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, Mandy Moore was in Princess Diaries along with Anne Hathaway. So there we go.
Yep.
But anyway, Mandy Moore was in The Princess Diaries. She is the voice of Rapunzel in Disney's Tangled, which she would love to play the mom, she said, in the real life.
Yeah, which I think would be like perfect.
Please do.
Yeah, love her.
And then she was in 106 episodes of a little TV show that's like whatever called like This Is Us. My favorite show. Are you kidding me? Have you seen it? Talk about crying. Every episode you will cry. It does not matter. Every episode. Have you watched This Is Us?
I've seen the first 2 seasons. And I
Milo
didn't cry.
Anyway, I'm shook right now.
I do like the dad though, because
we all do, but like, you did not cry in any of the lessons learned that was taught to us by these parents?
I cried during Grey's Anatomy.
I don't care about
the hospital got shot up.
No, I don't care.
But Massimo.
So then, as Landon Carter, it is the zaddy Shane West. He's a total zaddy now. Hello.
He is. He really is. Put a picture of him now, and then put a picture of him before.
Yeah, then and now. He was on episodes of ER and Nikita, like 73 episodes.
Yeah.
Reverend Sullivan, it's Peter Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Bitter Moon, E.T., Random Hearts, and The Legend of Billie Jean. Landon's mom is played by the amazing, gorgeous Daryl Hannah, who you'll know from Splash, Steel Magnolias, Kill Bill 1 and 2, and Grumpy Old Men. Just basic movies, like whatever.
Yeah, just, little things. You probably haven't heard of them.
Anyway. As Belinda, it is Lauren German, who is in Lucifer, Chicago Fire, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Belinda, she's in Lucifer.
Yeah. I know. I've seen her in Chicago Fire.
I've seen her in Lucifer because Brandon has watched that entire series.
Well,
sometimes he'll put it on and fall asleep, and I'm just laying there like watching it. I'm like, she looks so familiar. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, that's why.
Okay, and then you have Dean is played by Clayne Crawford. He was in Finest Kind, Lethal Weapon, the TV show, and The Perfect Host.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Eric, who is played by Al Thompson, and he was in The Pill, Love Don't Cost a Thing with
Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that movie too. And The Cleveland Show.
Yeah.
So, really great cast. They look so young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for it being in 2002, they look so young compared to like now, but they're so cute. What is your overall thought? Your situation with the book, the movie, what did you do? Did you watch it first? Did you read it first? Like, what's your vibe?
I watched the movie first, and I watched it because you made me watch it when I was like, what, 10?
Verify, yeah.
As a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then that entire trip that I took out to Virginia for an entire month, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Auntie Mary only had like Nicholas Sparks books, so I read it there. I read A Walk to Remember, I read Dear John, I read Safe Haven, and I think there was another one I read. But I read it's just like we took it to the library. She said we were gonna have a reading day at the library, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna bring A Walk to Remember because I'm not trying to pick up another book, because at that time I was like, I don't want to read.
Yeah.
And now
yeah, seriously,
Auntie Mary would be proud.
Time.
Don't remind me, I'm gonna start crying again.
Okay, calm down.
Yeah, but I do watch the movie.
So much of the last.
What?
I had to do so much editing on the last one, taking out anything to do with like Onyx Storm.
Oh my god, we can't get off track.
And there was like a whole like 15-minute segment of us talking about like casting. I was like, I have to leave it.
When we brought it up, when we were trying to figure out who would play Dane, and like the guy from The Hangover, the Asian guy from The Hangover,
Ken Jeong.
Yeah. Anyways, so but I rewatch the movie every once in a while now. I think like once every like 3 years. Like that's like my vibe.
Of course.
So yeah, I love it. I remember watching it for the first time and you were crying, and I was sitting there like. And then I read the book, and then I watched it again, and then I was crying. But, like, not, like, aggressive like you. You, like, hyperventilate when you watch it. That's me with Dear John.
I probably watched it. It came out when I was 12, but I was probably watched it, like, 13. Like 13, when I really cared. And to this day, I watched it last night with Jose. I was like, I have to watch this for the podcast. Do you want to watch it? And he's like, I don't want to watch it. I was like, I have to. And he's like, fine. And we're both sitting there like crying. And he was like, I don't remember this movie. I don't remember any of this happening. Like, what do you mean she dies? I did not know. And he's like, crying. I was like, every time. I was like,
you said, I knew it was coming.
every time.
I could have warned you, and I didn't.
I don't want to. You get. It's a canon event. You have to go through it.
It's canon.
I never read the book until 2 days ago. And the book is really short. It's 14 chapters. It's a quick read. Really surprised by the difference. The differences were, I was like, okay, we're doing like a flashback.
Yeah.
Oh, we're set in this era. Okay. Like, he's talking about like men were wearing pants and women were wearing dresses. I was like, what?
Yeah. The time is so different that when I reread the book, I imagined how they dressed and acted in the movie, and then he's describing like the people and like what like,
so
and I was like,
it's so different, but like, I mean, we'll talk about it, but I was like, okay, this is interesting, and I really wonder if I had read the book first and then watched the movie, how I would feel. But I still really enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
For me, the movie was better than the book, but
I agree.
I'm biased.
No, yeah, I agree. But that does lead into our first difference, which is the time setting. So in the book, it starts out with an older Landon talking about his time as a senior, which was set between 1958 and 1959. So yeah, it was set in the 80s, and I think the movie was set in modern times, which
In
2000s, yeah, because they had like cars, like they had the way that they were dressing, the way that they had their backpack. That was very like that era.
Yeah.
So it was more modern time for when the movie came out.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, homegirl Jamie dressed like she was in the 50s.
Maybe it was an homage to the
Maybe like a little like Easter egg of like, you know.
Well, there is an Easter egg too, and I'll talk about it as we go on, but like a little homage. But I read an article and the director had made a statement like he changed the era because he felt like if he did it based in like 1959, people would watch it and they wouldn't really like it or they wouldn't relate as much. So he was like, no, we have to make it to like a modern time so that people will actually like watch it and relate. And so him and then like Nichols Sparks was like, yeah, that's fine, like it's cool. So
which is funny to think.
It's a good move.
It's funny to think of it like that because when he did The Notebook, they had it set in that time.
And it might be, and I have to read The Notebook, but to see the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It worked for The Notebook, but I don't see it working for this kind of movie now.
It's like the same, if you like, because it's the same vibe because it's Landon telling the story, and I think in The Notebook it's what's his name? Noah telling the story. Yeah.
Telling
so like
Allie the story.
Yeah.
Of how they met.
I think if they did that, the same thing, like how they did The Notebook, it could have passed. Yeah. Because if Landon was just doing the narration, which I think in the movie
he kind of does.
He does the narration in the beginning and in the end, but then there's no narration in the middle. It's just
them doing it.
Being
Yeah, but then also like if you were to set that movie in the 50s, late 59, Landon wouldn't be like, Landon couldn't do the stuff he does now because like during that time they were very like, even that small town, and it's mentioned in the book, like they were all very religious based, like, and I have it here, like the bad boy image of Landon, the book versus the movie. Like the worst thing they did was like sneak in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Excuse me, like they weren't doing bad stuff like in the movie. So another difference is Landon's father. So in the book, he's very much involved. He's a congressman who spends a lot of time in Washington, so he's always traveling. And in the book, he's still married to Landon's mom. And then they do kind of like a little backstory of Landon's family. So Landon's grandfather became wealthy, and he owns a lot of like stores and properties because like his grandfather was like a bootlegger in that era, right? And Landon's father and Jamie's father actually used to work together for Landon's grandpa. But then when Jamie's dad found out that like Landon's grandpa got his money by doing illegal stuff like bootlegging and whatever, he didn't want to work for them anymore, and like they have like bad blood, right? And that's when he became like a priest or whatever, a minister. And then in the movie, Landon's dad is a cardiologist, and he had left his mom and Landon, and he lives in his own house with his new wife. And during the movie, he tries to mend things with Landon by like going to his play and like wanting to call him and spend time with him, but Landon just like doesn't want anything to do with him. And I love that scene when he's like, Landon, don't walk away, and he's like, you showed me how. I was like, or he's like, you taught me how. I was like, Landon.
Okay, but like the scene when he like goes to his house in the middle of the night.
The first time or the second time?
There's
two times. There's one where he goes.
The time when he finds out that she's sick. He
helps.
Yeah. He's like, help her. And he's like, I don't know
I'm
anything.
I don't know her file. I don't know this. And he's like, whatever. Yeah. And like leaves. I'm like, sad.
It's really sad.
But then he does end up helping him, and then like the scene when he like goes back to his dad and like cries in his arms, I like, that's the scene I always lose it, and I always like bawl my eyes crying. Always. Like, I don't know, he's gonna go to his dad's and like cry his eyes out.
You've seen it.
It makes me so sad.
It is really sad. It's sad.
It's so good.
So another one is the play, the infamous play scene. So in the book, there is no school play, but instead of a school play, the church does the same play every year, a play that Jamie's father wrote using his struggles, the death of his wife, raising a child, as like the storyline of the play. And he insists that the seniors of the high school are the ones who will be in the play every year. And in the movie, the play is just what it is. It's a school play. There's no, it's not held by the church or anything. And Jamie is already part of the drama club, but Landon gets roped in as a punishment for what he did earlier in the movie. And
yeah,
there's like this huge thing about the play. I love the little montage of the play where he's like learning the role parts, like just to for her and stuff. Good. And then she's in her beautiful little dress and she's like, and she gives him side eye.
My head.
Yeah.
I love the way he looks at her during the play. Like he's literally
falling in love. It's the cutest.
And then he's like, "You're beautiful," and I was like,
and she goes, "I know." Just kidding.
She was like, "What?"
She said,
and I love everyone in the audience, like her dad, the ex-girlfriend, and the best friend, are like,
"Yeah."
They're like, "That's not in the play." So yeah, the play. So essentially, in the book, the way that her and Jamie and Landon kind of like build their relationship is through this play that the dad essentially came up with.
Yeah.
And in the play, the wife dies and he's like by himself trying to take care of his daughter. So very similar to his real life. And something about like a music box. They're trying to like find this music box. There's like an angel in it or something like that. And in the play, Jamie plays the angel, and Landon is like just one of the main characters. And then I love that because in the movie, at the very end, when she's like ready to die, she like tells Landon like, "You're my angel," and I was like, oh.
So sad.
That's so good. Okay, so so good.
So good.
So, speaking of earlier in the movie, the bad boy image, that is Landon Carter. So it's like completely different. So in the movie, at the start of the movie, Landon is in high school with his crew, his friends, who are all assholes, literally.
Except for one.
Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the book, like Eric, I don't think the other guy's there, but Eric is like his ride or die. Like in the book, it's his best friend. So Eric's like mentioned a lot in the book. And he's like his best friend here, right? Really his best friend.
Yeah.
So he's there with his friends, his ex-lover, and they're like messing with this new kid. Like they're trying to get him to join their group. And there's like, they're at this like, I don't know what it is, a lake or a someplace.
It's like a pond.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into anything. It was just a circle.
It looks like a warehouse thing, a construction site, and then there's like all this water.
Yeah.
And then they tell him like, okay, we're gonna jump off the tower, and then when you jump off the tower into the water, like you're part of us. And Landon doesn't, and the one kid does, and he ends up like hitting his head on like a pipe that's like in there. It ends up going to the hospital. And when they try to like run away, all of his friends pretty much abandon Landon, and Landon's like making sure that the kid's okay, but the cops show up and he gets caught, and then it's like this whole ordeal of like, okay, this is what you're gonna have to do now. Like the cops, nobody pressed charges on you, but we did find out that you were drinking on school property, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna help the janitor. And he's like, for pay? And he's like, for the experience.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna help the janitor, and then you're gonna be part of the school play, and you're gonna help tutor kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how he kind of gets involved in all these things that Jamie is already involved in, right?
That scene, every time I watch
one?
it, the beginning scene, that entire scene you just described, every time I watch it, I get like, I feel
nervous.
I feel
Me
so
too.
like, because I know it's gonna happen, and I just think about it, and I'm like,
same.
Like
it gets me so like, I get like knots in my stomach in the beginning. Okay, so in the book, Landon is essentially like a good bad boy, like
morally gray. He's
yeah,
like this generation, like he's how we would describe now as this morally gray character. Yeah.
Correct. His best friend Eric is popular, sporty. He's in like sports stuff. He's a jock. And he ends up helping Landon get votes to become like student body president. Like that's the Landon.
Yeah.
Like his he becomes president because his dad tells Landon like it'll help with your college choices. So like he's like, you know, where are you gonna go to college? And he's like, I'm gonna go to North Carolina University or whatever. And the dad's like, oh well, we can get you here, like get some more stuff on your you know your file. And in the movie, Landon like is such a bad boy, like he doesn't have the grades to cut it to get into college, right? Remember he like does his little list and his mom finds it. And she's like, you want to be a doctor? And he's like, I can do it. And she's like, okay, yeah, you can do it. Go ahead.
She's like, sure.
Yeah. And then like literally the worst thing he does in the book is like he sneaks to the graveyard with his friends and eats like boiled peanuts. Like they like that's what they say. Like so scandalous.
Yeah, like that's like, but if you think about it in the times, like that's
right. If it's
not the boiled
time,
peanut thing, but you know, like sneaking into the graveyard. That's like
the
a graveyard.
And he's like, we don't. Because Jamie's like, why do you guys go to the graveyard? And he's like, we don't like push the tombs or anything. He's like, we just hang out there. But then like him and his friends like talk about like the people who died. Like, how do you think they died? Like they do a backstory on like everybody in the cemetery. Like he's not like, oh. Yeah. You can't be with that boy who goes to the graveyard.
Yeah. Like, that's how you imagine them talking in the book. Yeah.
Like, Jamie, you
like how her dad talks in the movie. Yeah. That's how I imagined it.
Do you remember that scene in the movie when like Jamie's going out with Landon and they kiss outside and like the dad walks down and he's like, Landon, you need to go now. Go home. And so Landon leaves.
Yeah. And
the dad looks at Jamie. He's like, your fornication is sinful.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
All right, Dad.
He's like, don't think about what I think about what God thinks. And she's like, I think God would want this.
Yeah.
I think he would want me to be happy, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like a real big difference. Like Landon in the book is not, like you said, he's morally gray, right? But in the movie, he's like the bad boy, like hanging with a bad group of friends, and he doesn't care about school. He doesn't care about going to college. He has no future. Like, he's just whatever.
In the movie, he's still kind of morally gray. He went astray because of his trauma.
Yeah.
And that was, like, his main backstory, like, the reasoning why.
His dad.
In the book, he was just like that. Like, he was just like that. Like, he didn't have daddy issues. He didn't have mommy issues. In this one, he just had all these issues. In the movie, he's just had all these issues, and so and we come to understanding that as time goes on, and he's like, "My dad left me. Where are you?" You know what I mean? Like he's like that kind of vibe.
Yeah, pretty much
the whole thing. So, yeah. So another one is, you have to promise not to fall in love with me. The line. Okay.
In my book, I literally like highlighted this shit out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it.
This is the one right here. Okay, so in the book, Landon needs a date to the dance. So he's flipping through the yearbook and decides to ask Jamie because she's starting to look nicer his senior year.
In the book, she's described at the beginning like they literally say she's like plain Jane. Like, she's plain. She wears the same like
stuff like every day. You know, she's ordinary. Like she's just a regular person.
And then senior year, he says like senior year. Like I know he goes in the book. He says like, and then senior year, I look up and I just noticed like 2 little lumps on her chest.
Yeah,
and, like
just so described
she's
as like
curves, and she's like.
He's just noticing.
She's so pretty.
Yeah, he's noticing things about her.
She's grown, I guess.
Yeah, like how seniors would think, you know?
Yeah.
So he goes to her house and asks her to go to the dance, and that's when she hits us with the memorable line, "You have to promise not to fall in love with me." And we said, "Slay, queen, know your worth. Okay, know your worth."
Yes.
So that's what I said when I read it. I said, she knows what's up. So Landon's reaction is the same. He just laughs it off, and he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, I promise.
He's like, I promise. Yeah. No problem.
Anyways, and then in the movie, so Landon needs help with the play running through lines. So he asks Jamie to help at school, and she hits him with the same exact line. She said, with her books in her hand,
She goes,
You have to promise
okay.
not to fall in love with me. And he's like,
The way she's literally like this. He's like, please, Jamie, like, help me. And she's like, okay,
yeah.
but you have to promise not to fall in love with me. And he's like,
Yeah.
right.
He really did. He really did.
Like doing
Okay.
yeah. Grease.
Yeah.
He's like, so make me laugh.
Like, all right. All right, John Travolta. You know he watched that movie before he did that
He
scene.
was like, what's the era? Okay.
He said, I got this. Grease lightning? All right. Okay.
Is that
I
the play
got
we're
it.
doing? He's like, is that the play we're doing?
We doing Grease lightning? I have my hair. It's like,
Yeah.
no. They said no. No.
But yeah, when I was like, oh my god, I love when like movies, especially adaptations, take like the one line or you know those like ones that like touch us the most, and they're like we could change everything about this movie, but the Bruno is gonna be this line.
Just like, and I hate to bring it up, and in this time, yes, with the when the best friend said that, she said, as his sister, I hope that you take him back, but as your best friend, I will never speak to you again. She delivered that line so perfectly. She carried that movie. She carried the movie. I cried. I looked at Katie and I was crying. Katie looked at me and she was crying, and I was like,
I cried. I looked at Sam and like we were like shaking each other, and I was like, "This is the best,
literally the best."
Anywho, that's as much as we're talking about it.
Yeah, we're gonna go into more detail later about it.
March 2026.
What?
March 2026.
Why?
That's when the court starts happening. That's
holy
when
shit! No, we have to do like a filler, like during the anniversary. The anniversary, we have to talk about it. We have to be like, this is what you need to know before the trial starts.
A live watch of the trial.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, we should. This is what you need to know before the trial starts, and we're gonna go over all of the facts and all of the things, so that way people can watch and get prepared for it. And then when the trial happens, live reactions.
Yeah. Yes.
Live.
This is like way more scandalous than like Johnny Depp.
Way more. And I really hope somebody poops on someone's bed.
It's probably Ryan Reynolds pooing on
Justin Baldoni's bed.
Baldoni's bed.
In his shoe.
Trailer.
Yeah. In his trailer.
Snuck into the trailer and took a shit on the shoe.
And then put Lily Bloom's a flower right on it. So fucked up.
How to look the best things in life.
Yeah.
It's like...
It ends with us.
He's like, no, it ends with shit. It ends with you.
It ends with shit. So stupid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So another difference is Landon confesses his love to Jamie in Jamie's illness. So in the book, Landon does take Jamie to a nice restaurant, but it's like New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like their nice time together. And Landon waits a couple weeks to tell Jamie that he loves her. Like he's like falling in love with her in the book. And he even says like in his like inner dialogue, like, I can't believe I'm falling in love with Jamie Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is happening? And when Jamie insists that he cannot be in love with her, Landon becomes upset and demands to know. Like, he gets so upset.
Yeah.
He's like...
He trips the fuck out.
Yeah,
he's tripping out.
He's like, you don't love me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm student body president.
But Jamie's literally like, I literally told you not to fall in love with me. And what do? Fall in love with me. You're a bad boy.
Yeah. And that's when Jamie decides to tell him that she is dying of leukemia. And during that time, 1959, like, he was like, we can do all these things. And in the book, he literally, like, the older version of Landon, he was like, if she was diagnosed today, like, he's like 57 in the book or whatever. And he's like, if she was diagnosed today, like, we could have better treatment. We could, like, do more. And he's like, but back then, there wasn't a lot we could do. So it just kind of is what it was. And I was like, oh, my God. So sad.
Yeah, that is really sad.
And in the movie, Landon takes Jamie to a nice restaurant. They spend the night together completing things that Jamie had on her that she wanted to do, such as be in two places at once, get a tattoo. Mm-hmm. That scene where she's like,
because movie Jamie like she showed no skin, barely her ankles, like
Mm-hmm.
anything. She always had a sweater on.
She was like, "Here's my shoulder,
Yeah.
and here's a butterfly." And the song that is playing is my actual song. It's gonna be love.
Yeah. So funny.
And his face when he's like blowing on her tattoo. I was like,
so cute. Literally
She
so
West,
cute.
hello.
That's your first crush.
I seriously, I was like, is this like when I started getting into this like golden retriever bad boy?
Oh my
And I'm like,
god.
what? Okay, so going towards the end of the night, Landon confesses to Jamie that he loves her, and she stands there in literal shock, saying that she told him not to fall in love with her.
Mhm.
So he's like, Jamie, I love you. And it's like dead silence. And he's like, now would be the time to say something.
Yeah.
And it's like dead silence. And she goes, I told you not to fall in love with me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, ah. And then he kisses her.
Yeah.
And they end up dating for quite some time. Like, I love when they're officially dating and they walk up in school holding hands.
Yeah.
Homeboy is like to his girl, like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, get over it. And it was one night while they were together. Okay. Landon asked Jamie what were her plans for the future, and she said that she didn't have any plans. And that's when he asked her, well, what is she going to do for like college? Like, she turned in her college applications, and she's like, I'm not going to college. And he's like, what is going on? And she turns around and she says, Landon, I'm sick. And he goes, well, we'll take you home. She's like, you're not listening. She's like,
Yeah.
I have leukemia. And then they have their little moment, and then she like runs.
Yeah, she runs off.
She like runs away. She runs home.
Yeah.
And then that's when he like goes to his dad, and like that whole situation plays out.
Yeah.
Like waking him up. Like
The whole
do
thing.
something.
So sad.
I know.
So sad.
I love it. I love
it. Okay, so the last one that we have is the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know why I get so emotional when I watch this scene, and I think it's I don't know why. So in the book, because of the fact that Jamie was so sick and the leukemia was like eating away at her, it was like she was going through it. So it was a struggle for Jamie to walk down the aisle, even though that's what she wanted.
It was her
she just couldn't. Yeah, it was
her dad to walk her down
the aisle. Yeah. So she sat down in her wheelchair once at the altar, and Landon kneeled down in front of her so that way they can see each other at the same level, which is just like the cutest fucking thing ever, and it makes me super fucking sad. And then in the movie, Jamie was able to walk alongside her father and hold Landon's hand once the two of them are together at the altar. But as she's walking down the aisle, she's like, you can see that she's kind of like, you can tell that she's very sick. Like, she's just really, it's so sad, but it's so romantic. And I think it just makes me like,
so
I feel like two emotions at once. And it's like, because I know that she's sick and that she's dying, but like, they love each other so much that they're gonna get married, and it's just like everyone that's there.
So like in the book, he like asks her, she's like in bed sick, right? She's like sick, and he like asks her like, will you marry me? And she's like, oh my god, yes. And in the movie, okay, so like Jamie in the movie is like huge on like stars, right? Like, and it's actually funny because in the movie, Jamie is the one who's like always going to the cemetery, and she's like setting up her telescope and all this stuff, and so she's really big into stars. So, like, one of the main projects that Landon does for her is like create this like huge telescope so that she could do it from like her balcony or whatever and see the stars. And when they have it all set up, she's like looking, she's like so sick, she's like staring out, and you just see him like staring at her, and he's just like, will you marry me? And then when she like looks at her and she's like, yes, and I was like, yes.
It's so cute. And then like at the wedding too, like all of the people that like definitely shit on their relationship were at the wedding, but like you can see
hello,
what
the Virgin Mary stunt they pulled.
Oh yeah, that was so
He took her
stupid.
face and like
Yeah,
put it on, like,
but the way he protected her, I said,
oh, when he was like, baby, like,
yeah,
it's about you, it's about me. And I
yeah,
was like, oh, he loves her so. Because remember when she was like, he's like, I'm having feelings for you. And she's like, prove it.
yeah,
She's like, prove it then. Prove it. And
yeah.
he fucking proved
And he
it.
proved it. And she said, "That's my man. That's my
Mm-hmm.
man right there."
She
But like,
did.
there's something about the way, like, because I feel like a lot of them didn't know that she was sick except for Eric.
Correct.
Eric knew, the mom knew, the dad knew, and then obviously Jamie and her dad knew.
In the book.
Yeah. No, in the
Mhm.
movie too. Right? Like the friend
Nobody
group
knew.
didn't know that she was sick.
Eric didn't know until later. I think when it was like finally like kind of revealed by
Yeah.
everybody, like
When she
when
wasn't like going to
in the
school and
hos-
stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
essentially when she was in the hospital, that's when everyone started realizing it, and then that's when Eric goes to Landon, and he's like, "I'm sorry, like I didn't know, and like we're here for you." Like they all were like, "We're here for you," like we didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me
He-
too of when Landon goes to see the kid from the beginning of the
Mhm,
movie,
mhm,
and I was like,
mhm.
oh, that's
something
rough.
about that beginning and that other kid. I don't know what it is. It gives me literal like knots in my stomach. Like I
Mhm.
don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like because it's like hardcore bullying. Like that's why we don't bully people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
You
like
don't know.
that's instant karma if I've ever seen it before in my life.
Oh my god.
Not for the kid that jumped, but for Landon and his friends, because
Mhm.
like that kid could have died.
Yeah.
And honestly, in today's age, kids bully like that, and kids end up dying because of it.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, you know what? Watch it. Walk to Remember. Watch it. Just the first half.
Seriously.
Just that's it. You don't need to see
Just watch
anything
the
else.
first half.
You don't get the goodness of the rest of the movie.
Correct. Okay, so yeah, there was a lot of differences. Yeah. So there's like a lot of differences in this book and the movie adaptation.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be exactly like the movie, and then as soon as it started off and it was like, when I was a senior in 1950, I was like, okay.
You said this is not. Let me reel it back. Let me reel it back. 'cause
I
this
was like,
is
let me not put these two characters in my head. I have to start like blank slate. Like I can't.
I
How
still
bad?
imagined like Mandy Moore and
Yeah.
Shane West playing them, but just in different clothes. Like I just imagined them in different clothes and not driving the cars that they were driving.
Yeah, they walked a lot. They did a lot of walking.
Like I just imagined
they
them.
didn't drive,
Yeah, I just
but-
imagined them like
I don't know.
in different clothes. And the dad, I imagined him the exact same with the
dad
accent and
I imagined
everything.
the same. The dad, I imagine the same. The mom of Landon, I imagine the same. The dad of Landon, I even imagined the same. I just could not picture all of them in this era
Yeah.
when I was reading this book. Do you know, like,
Yeah.
have you seen that movie? Oh, it's Pleasantville. You haven't
I don't
seen
know.
with Reese Witherspoon, Paul Walker, the original Spider-Man guy. What's his name?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. So they're like set in like the 90s or whatever, and there's something with like the TV, and Tobey Maguire's character like gets like this remote and like changes the channel or something, and then they end up in like back in black and white time. You have to watch it.
Okay.
No, it's really good.
Okay.
That's what I was like trying to picture. I was like when I was reading this book, I was like picturing everything in black and white.
Okay. Okay. Like I just imagined like The Notebook, but it was just Landon and Mandy Moore.
Yeah, I guess it was just hard for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But overall, what were your final thoughts? What do you rate the book, and what do you rate the movie?
Okay, so I rate the book a 3.5 because when I was rereading it, I started to remember why I didn't really like the book as much as the movie, because I had already seen the movie before I read the book. So like I think how you're feeling now is how I felt originally.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
rereading it again, it's just the same thoughts in my
Yeah.
head of like I don't like
feel
the
like-
time that they're in. So I would give it
Agreed.
like a 3.5.
Same.
I like it because it is short. and it was a fast read for me. It was the only book that I read.
If you were needing a book to like, fill in your list for the month,
or like a good to get you out of a reading slump.
Yeah, like a palate cleanser. This is a good quick read. 14 chapters.
Yeah, but I give the movie like a 4.3.
Okay, so
just because Mandy Moore's kind of cringe. A little bit. I think she's. I remember thinking that when I watched it as a 10-year-old,
okay. And she talks.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the story alone is very cute and romantic. I think I cried when the first time I watched it, and then I never cried again.
Interesting.
So,
I also rate the book 3.5. I just, as much as I love Nichols Sparks and his books, this being my first time reading this book, I feel like maybe it's for like an older generation.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out in 1999. Like, I could see mom back in 1999 reading this book and maybe like falling in love with this book.
Yeah.
It's a quick read, but it's not like my favorite Nichols Sparks. Like, I liked the last song.
It's not the last song. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, it's not the last song, but
we still have 3 more Nichols Sparks books to read, so
I can't wait for you to read Dear John.
I know. So right now, if it's 4 books, right now The Notebook is number 4 for me. And the movie I'm going to put at number 2 at like a 4.5.
Are you rating the books that we're doing?
I just decided right now as we're talking.
Okay, so what is it? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have A Walk to Remember book-wise. Where is that on your list? 4?
4 for right now. Right now.
Okay, and then movie-wise, where is it? Number 1?
2.
Okay.
It's number 2.
Okay.
I do enjoy the movie. I still cry to this day when I watch. Like I said, I watched it last night, and I still like cried. And I literally even said, I was like, every time. It was like every time I cried, and it's the music for me. It's the way he looks at Jamie. It's the way that Jamie talks to Landon. It's when the dad is like crying in Jamie's deathbed. It's like all of it together just makes me like emotional. But I give the movie like a 4.5. Like it's a movie that I watched like once in a very blue moon. Like I don't put it on every time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, the list on my imaginary list that you just made up, the book is number 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And the movie is a number. What's the other book? What are the other movies we're doing?
We are going to be doing Dear John, The Notebook, and oh my God, what's the other one?
Did we choose Josh Duhamel?
We ended up choosing. Hold on, I'm gonna go look.
Or
and
is
verify.
it Zac Efron?
We ended up choosing Zaddy Zach, the lucky one. So Dear John.
Okay, so then this one is also number 4 on the list.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 and 4.
For movie. Yeah, 4 and 4.
For me, it's a 4 for book, 2 for movie. My list might change by the time we do Dear John, so
we'll have to remember our.
When
answers.
I recap this, I'll write it down, and then at the end of Dear John, we can like finalize our list.
Okay,
this is fun.
I already know my order for movies.
Okay, calm down.
I haven't read The Lucky One, so I have to read it.
I haven't seen The Lucky One and Dear John in a very long time, so I have to. When I rewatch it, it'll be like literally brand new. I don't remember any of it. In the books, I read The Lucky One. I did not read The Notebook, and I did not read Dear John. So, but it's been a while since I read The Lucky One, so everything's gonna be like brand new for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
the only one I haven't read was The Lucky One. I've seen all the movies, and then I've read all the other books. I have to read The Lucky One.
Okay. The Notebook. Oh God, I have The Notebook. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've read it. I have to reread it to get a fresher, newer mindset on it. And of course, I love the movie. So what?
I know the movie's good. Tell me what you want. I don't know.
It's not easy. I don't know. It's not that easy. What do you want?
He's like, damn it. I love it when people use that meme for like when you're asking your kid what they want to eat.
Yeah. Like, excuse me, you have Ken from Barbie and Regina George.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so do you want to go into our culture reference?
Oh,
Do you like that?
I did. I did like that a lot. Yes, I will go into the. I can't do it, so I was waiting for you to do it.
Okay. The
Culture
culture reference?
references, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the ones is
You,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
It,
It just announced. It just announced.
it
on the
just
29th.
announced 2 days ago, from when we're filming this, 2 days ago, that Jake Gyllenhaal is going to star in a new film from M. Night Shyamalan and Nichols Sparks, which... Jake Gyllenhaal?
Excuse me, Nicholas Sparks just dropped the news on his Instagram, and he was like holding it in. He said he's like so excited to finally announce it. M. Night Shyamalan has a movie that he's putting out there, and he has picked up Nicholas Sparks to help him in it. It's not a Nicholas Sparks book, so this is like kind of a big deal. Like it's not his book. It's like
I just don't see Jake Gyllenhaal as like the romantic male lead because Taylor Swift.
Excuse me, M. Night Shyamalan, is his stuff romantic?
No, but I was just saying. Nicholas Sparks does have some dark themes, okay?
Excuse me, you put some respect on Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but he still has her scarf.
I don't care. Have you seen Southpaw?
I have.
Zaddy. Ew, fix your face.
Okay, but like, have you seen Creed?
Creed?
Michael B. Jordan?
No, we're talking about
Yeah, but it's the same premise.
Hello, the bad guy in Spider-Man.
Ew. Ew. Mysterio? He's named after a fucking WWE wrestler.
Hello, the Roadhouse reboot.
Okay, but I only liked that one because of
Not the UFC fighter.
yeah, and he was naked walking down the street and he just is smiling. That's literally what's his name? Conor McGregor.
Thank you.
Conor McGregor. That's like he didn't act.
I hate you.
He didn't act. And so he's just naked
That man
walking down the street.
He is a literal fool.
Have you seen his Instagram?
I don't follow him. He like actually assaulted a woman.
Yeah, he did. He's a horrible, horrible person. But there is a video of him on Instagram where he's on a yacht and he's doing the bike workout machine. What is it called? Whatever. And he has the camera right in front of where like the handles are, and he's just staring at the camera, smiling, doing it. And he's wearing the itty bitty shorts. And I was like, this is not the angle, dude. Get this off of everyone's screen right now. So I'm telling you, like, that's why he wasn't acting in that movie. He really wasn't.
He was being his true self.
A fucking creep.
Yeah, he's so extra.
I just love that movie because it's so, like...
No, it's so...
That was not in Roadhouse. No. I do not remember seeing that in the original movie, okay?
It's so chaotic in every way possible.
I took my socks off.
Oh my god, okay, again. You always take it off.
I just needed to know because I was moving weird just now, so I'm putting them away.
But anyway,
yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Cut that entire thing out with him.
But anyway, yeah. So this is exciting. I didn't really read what the premise of the story is, but I'm excited. It's cool for M. Night Shyamalan to hit up Nicholas Sparks and be like,
yeah, that's a cool. That's like a cool like team up.
So I'm very intrigued.
You don't see, like you wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, when I saw this article, I was like, "What am I reading right now?"
You're like, "This is not real."
I was like, "It's this on Twitter. Early. What is happening?" Okay, so another culture reference is his latest novel, Counting Miracles, released this fall, and it debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And it's actually going to be adapted into a film by Amazon.
And I have feelings towards Amazon.
Why? Because of My Lady Jane?
Yeah.
I know.
I'll hold that close to my heart.
Save My Lady Jane.
Hashtag save My Lady Jane. Yeah. Hulu better pick it up or something. Same cast, same premise. Because
see it on Hulu, for sure. I could totally see it there.
I'm just upset.
I know.
I don't know who to talk to about it.
I feel like Nicholas Sparks is now, he's just like, look, I write books like I write screenplays, okay? So whatever book I write, you're going to love it, and you're going to turn into a movie. So just add it on there.
Yep. Okay.
Go ahead.
So another one is the film, like the book, is dedicated to the memory of Nichols Sparks' sister Danielle, who also had cancer, which inspired the story, which is really sad.
Yeah.
I just thought Nichols Sparks just had
I wonder if he has
thing.
if every book it's somehow in some way connected to him. I'm sure like every writer does their stories and somehow it's like a connection secretly,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not obvious. And I wonder if every book. So I'm curious when we do these other adaptations if we'll get more like fun facts like that, like
Rebecca Yarros.
Mm-hmm. She
She
had dragons.
we're not going to talk about that. Okay. She if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's it. Rebecca Yarros, who is the author of Fourth Wing,
Mm-hmm.
her husband is in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of her, because she writes about them riding the dragons, and like,
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it when you're reading, if you think of the Air Force when you're reading Fourth Wing,
Mm-hmm.
it's very similar
Mm-hmm.
to like the way that they talk.
go to.
Yeah, and the
Mm-hmm.
way, so like her
The
Zayden
ranks.
is her
Mm-hmm. How
her husband.
cute.
Yeah, and so she wrote, I think she used, yeah, the ranking, the
Mhm.
way that they're like the parapet, like the way that they,
Yeah.
it's like their flight jacket, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
just like little hints. It's
Correct.
Yeah, I mean obviously there's no dragons,
Yeah.
but
Dragons.
I hate
That's how I'm
that.
gonna say it now.
I hate it. If you're
You read about dragons.
familiar with TikTok, you know,
That's all you have to say is
and that's it.
dragons.
That's all there is to it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We will not give her any more time.
She barely had any in the first place.
Seriously, anyway, we'll stop there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this movie grossed out for 47.5 million worldwide on an 11.8 million budget. So they made money.
Yeah, I made a lot of money.
For 2002, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2002, Shane West and Mandy Moore won a Teen Choice Awards for their movie chemistry. And Mandy Moore also won for Breakout Movie Actress. In the same year, Mandy Moore also won an MTV Movie Award for the Best Breakthrough Female Performance. And the reason I added this is because when we do the Notebook, I'm going to insert the clip of fucking Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams when they won Best Kiss.
Oh yeah, they did.
I was like, nobody does that. They try to recreate it. People try to recreate their Best Kiss MTV moment, and nothing will ever top that one. And
I don't know. When
they won the award?
No, but listen. Someone can top that won that same award and reenacted it.
Who?
And it was for Twilight. When Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart won, and Kristen Stewart was like, this isn't for me, and Robert Pattinson's like, you're right, and he ran out into the crowd and kissed Taylor Lautner.
When we do our next episode, I'm gonna play the Ryan Gosling one, and then we're gonna put it right next to
the Twilight one.
And then we'll have the people vote what was the best.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Twilight.
No,
who doesn't want to see Robert Pattinson kiss Taylor Lautner?
Oh my god, maybe in a fanfic.
There's a million of them. I accidentally ran across it the other day. I might have been scrolling through AO3 just to see what they had on there.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of Jedward. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna do our segment of Who is Bruno?
Bruno. I just imagine us doing this and nothing is coming up.
Your imaginary Bruno. And Bruno. Okay, so on the last episode, I believe I cut it from our editing stream. We had a fun moment of like guessing what our Bruno was going to be for this movie because first of all, we were 0-4. We did not get the last one. We got the Live Free or Die Hard because we were trying to pinpoint an actor. Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah.
And now we're here at this movie. I've officially read the book.
Yeah, when I reread the book, I realized that
list.
my Bruno wasn't even in the book.
I literally was reading this book and I was like, where the fuck's this list?
Yeah, I know, and I totally spaced that. I forgot that there was no
list.
There's no list. Which
just her number one wish is to walk down the aisle with her dad. Is her wish.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was no list. Okay, so with that being said, are you ready for your Bruno? Because I have mine already.
Yeah, I have my
Okay.
Bruno. My Bruno's a person.
Okay, then I want to do person. Mine is
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Let me think then. Hold
Okay.
on. Yours is a person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Say your Bruno person.
Okay.
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 1, 2, 3.
Eric. I told you we'd get it. I told you. Bruno. Eric.
All types of Erics popping up. I'll let you do that.
I'll do that too. Oh, that's so good.
We're okay. 1 and
1 and 4.
1 and 4. 3?
No, 1 and 4.
1 and 4. Okay, yeah, 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I chose Eric too because even in the book, he's best friends with Landon.
Mm-hmm.
And he still also like gets on Landon for like oh, are you dating Jamie? Like,
Yeah.
bro, you
And
know what
Eric
I mean?
in the book and in the movie, he's still kind of like that jockey, because you know how he like the way he dressed in the movie was very jock like, and then he's described as like a jock in the book. He
really was the only one to like help Landon in the movie. Like when Homeboy jumped off, like he's the last one who stayed behind with Landon and like helped him out of the water. And even though he may have his struggles, he's still like hardcore best friends with Landon.
Ride or
It's his
die.
boy. Yeah. And I told Jose, I honestly feel like the other guy, Dean or whatever. Who is it? Dean, yeah, played by Clayne Crawford. The other friend.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I feel like he is somebody who came in to speak for the role of Landon, and they were like, "You're not Landon," and they like gave him this role because they almost look the same.
Almost, yeah.
I was like, "You're not Landon."
Yeah, he's no Shane West.
No, you could be this other guy that we just made up.
This random dude. That's not even in the book. He's not the Bruno.
No, neither is Belinda.
Yeah, but whatever.
I know.
She's whatever. There had to be some sort of tension there. Some sort of
it's
thing.
crazy because in the book, in the beginning, like Landon is so hung up on his ex. Even like going to the dance, he's like trying to make his ex jealous and stuff like that. And it's like, Landon.
Like, stop being weird.
In the movie, she's like, nobody's home. Do you want to come inside? He's like, Belinda, I already told you, like, it's over. And she was like, I know. And she like hella slams the door.
He's just like,
all right.
Okay.
You're disgusting.
He said, I thought we were cool.
Okay. So we're 1 and 4. I'm really interested to see if we get the other one. I'm pretty sure we will.
Yeah. I think Nichols Sparks is like our even ground.
Easy. Yeah. Okay, so we are now going to our special of Arc Corner. And Arc Corner is our special segment where we highlight an indie author and a book that is either about to come out or is just recently out. And today our Arc Corner author is Serena Pierre, and you can find her on socials. Her Instagram is serenapierwrites, and we'll go ahead and add that into this video. And the book is Shamrock Kisses. Now, okay, this book is I debated, I was like, do I want to post this one in March because it is St. Patrick's theme? However, I want to talk about, this is the third book in her novella series. So I also want to talk about the first 2 books that I did not read, but I do want to read after I read this book. Because this is my first arc that I got from her.
Yeah.
So it's Shamrock Kisses. This book is available now on Kindle Unlimited. And then she also today just posted a teaser that there is an Audible version about to come out.
Ooh.
So yeah, I love an Audible.
Yes, so do I.
So if you go onto her Instagram, you can click her link. And if you sign up for her newsletter, she will give you all the information for her Audibles for her books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to go with the tropes?
I love the tropes, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so it's instant connection,
Mm-hmm.
strangers to lovers,
Mm-hmm.
small town.
Yes.
We love small town romances.
I do love it. I love it so.
A holiday romance.
Love that too.
I like this version of the holiday romance because, like, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, you don't ever read a book like that.
No, you don't.
I know.
Younger man.
Mm-hmm.
I could be your father. You're just tiny. We're stupid. And then this one's like super freaking cute, but the nerdy guy gets the girl, which is just so cute.
He is nerd to the book, and it is so cute.
I love that. I really love that.
You don't read books like that. I
yeah,
don't
you
read
really
a book
don't.
like
It's
that.
always like the jock.
It's
yeah,
always
the
a
bad
Landon.
boy, whatever.
It's
It's always a
Landon.
Landon.
It's a Zayden. It's never a nerdy guy.
Yeah. It's never a Riddick.
Exactly. Or a Bodhi.
I love Bodhi. I love it.
That's it. 1 minute we talked about it.
Fuck. Okay.
So go ahead with the blurb, and then I want to dive in real quick on like her like novella series that she's got going on.
Okay. So the blurb is kind of small. So this festive rom-com follows Rachel, a confident cleaning business owner, and Patrick, a socially anxious, cat-loving hacker, as they navigate an unexpected connection. When Rachel invites Patrick to a St. Patty's Day party, his anxiety might keep him from saying yes, but one night could change everything. Shamrock Kisses is book number 3 in an interconnected series, but it can be read as a standalone. So it's very much like Anna Wong's books, so the Twisted Love series.
Yes.
They're interconnected, but they're standalone, so you can read them whenever.
So like I said, this was my first ARC book of hers that I had received. And it's, when I say it's like a short novella, like 100 pages.
Yeah.
It's like easy read. You can read it in like 2 hours.
That Audible is like a 1 hour read or listen. If you read it on time speed, that's like a 30-minute thing.
Exactly.
That's a shit.
Yeah.
That's a shit right there.
So this is my first book that I received of hers that was an ARC book. And when I read it just as is. And like I said, it's like only 100 pages. It's a quick and easy read. And then as I was reading it, and then they were saying that it's book 3, I went out to her Instagram profile and I was like, wait, what are books 1 and 2 then? This is book 3. So book 1 is called Santa's Coming. And it's like a bar scene also, but Santa Christmas theme.
Yeah.
The second one is called Cupid's Shot. So it's, I guess, like the same group of girlfriends, and it's all in the bar scene where like they go to in Shamrock Kisses. And the homegirl falls in love with the guy who's like plays Cupid. So like this bar does themes, right? So it's Christmas theme. This guy was Santa, and one of the homegirls like falls in love with that guy. And then the second one is Cupid's Shot. One of the bar people is like Cupid, and the homegirl falls in love with that guy. So now you're in the third book, and they're at the bar, and it's like St. Patrick's Day themed, right? And the girls are all together, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And she's a cleaner, a house cleaner, and she's like cleaning this like super like mansion house, and homeboy and his best friend show up to the house, and he's like the moment he sees her, he's like, oh my god, he's like so nervous because he's nerdy. He's like buff, handsome, green eyes, and he's like, I'm not like I get nervous. Like I don't have social game. I don't have game. I can't socially like talk to girls. And she's like, come on, like come to the bar tonight. It's just down the street. Like we're gonna have so much fun. And he's like, oh, okay. And he goes, and it's funny because they're at the bar, and the girls are like, they're like, oh my god, you're so like giddy right now. And she's like, I'm just waiting. She calls him Mr. Rar. She's like, I'm waiting for Mr. Rar, because she's like, Rar.
Oh my god.
She's like, I'm waiting. I hope he comes. And when he shows up, they're like, do you think you're like, they're like, they say in the book, like, I fell in love with Santa. So and so fell in love with Cupid. Do you think you're gonna fall in love with a leprechaun? And she's like, shut up. And when he comes, she's like, oh, my name is Rachel. And he's like, my name is Patrick. And they all start laughing because it's like St. Patrick's
Oh
Day.
my god. That is so cute.
It's such a cute book. It's like it makes me like so giddy because like they're flirting, but then it's like his inner dialogue, and he's like, "Wait, is she flirting with me?" Like, and he's like,
that's so cute.
and he's like, "Wait, did I just like really like grab her hand and like kiss her for good luck?" And then like, how do I go about this? Like, why did I say that? Like, that's so stupid. Like, what am I? Like, yeah,
that is so cute.
It's so cute. So I really want to go and read the first two books.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has another one coming up, which I'm so happy. Like, we're gonna be an arc for that one. She has another one coming up, and it's Run Little Buddy. So it's like Easter themed.
Easter, yeah.
It's number 4.
I like that.
I'm excited.
That is so cute.
I know, it's a cute, like, I think if you read 1, 2, 3, and then you go into this 4th one, like, it's a nice like read if you want to step away from like. Not that these are books, the longer books are like draining, but sometimes it's like mentally a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You kind of have to step away and go into like simpler, like a simple romance.
Yeah, something
And,
that's just like really, yeah.
A palate cleanser. I like to call these books palate cleansers.
The small town, like holiday themed books are like the
we just
best
did
kind of books.
Miss Book for Love.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
That one was good.
Yeah, they're really good books to help you get out of reading slumps too, because if reading the same thing over and over again can get really draining. So like when I'm reading fantasy, I have to like hop into like a contemporary romance or like a dark romance to get me out of that slump, and then I go back into fantasy. Back into fantasy where I go.
You read fantasy?
You read a book about dragon?
Like, why can't you read the dictionary or like
learn how to build an engine?
She's like, you don't know anything, honey. Your Botox is showing.
Yeah, Botox Barbie, please.
Oh my god, they call her Demon Barbie.
Yeah. Someone said she looked like Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah, what
I know.
She's like, why is Lucius Malfoy talking? I was like, don't.
I cackled.
So I give this book a 4 out of 5. It's really cute. I highly recommend it. And like I said, she also has an Audible for the Valentine's Day one, so then you can just go like pop pop.
Oh yeah,
Valentine's, and then the Shamrock Kisses.
We love the Audibles.
So definitely check her out. Her name is Serenapierwrites, and she is amazing.
Amazing. Yep. Alrighty, so thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. We appreciate it. We love Nichols Sparks.
We love Nichols Sparks. We love Mandy Moore, and we love Shane West. But next week, we say goodbye to Mandy and Shane, and we say hello to Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling as Allie and Noah in probably one of the most famous Nichols Sparks adaptation, The Notebook.
Yes, The Notebook. I'm excited. I have a pop culture reference on that book, or on that movie. So yeah, exactly. So I'll have to send that to you. So when you do the notes, you can put it there. Okay. But yeah, so The Notebook is currently streaming on HBO Max. So you can watch it there. But I think if you go to like YouTube, it'll be on there too. Like you could just watch it either for free or you just rent it for like $1 or something. But yeah, so it's currently streaming there. And then all of the books that we have previously talked about and the upcoming books that we have, so A Walk to Remember or The Notebook or any Nichols Sparks books, those are available to buy at any stores. You can go to your local bookstore, or you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited, yeah. And then you can also get it
credits.
Huh?
You have to have credits.
Kindle Unlimited?
No, for the Nichols Sparks books. They're not for free.
Yeah, you have to buy it on Kindle.
I was like distraught.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Like, what?
But at your local bookstore, I think Nichols Sparks books run for anywhere between $11 to $15 because he doesn't do hardcovers, unless it's like a special edition. But yeah, so the paperbacks, and they're pretty small and really easy reads, so around $11. Or if you go to a thrift store, I'm pretty sure they have a lot of Nichols Sparks books. Yeah,
correct.
So look around. But if you're one of those people that like to listen to books, they also have them available on Audible. And if you don't know what Audible is a streaming service where you can listen to your favorite books. They have over like thousands of different books that you can listen to. They have new and old, so you can listen to Nicholas Sparks books. You can listen to Onyx Storm. You can listen to Haunting Adeline. You can anything.
You Shamrock Kisses.
Shamrock Kisses, yes, which is going to be released on Audible, or anything previously from Sienna, so you guys can. Is that her name?
Serena.
Anything from Serena you can listen to. Honestly, they have literally everything. And if you don't have Audible, no need to worry, no need to fret. You can get a 30-day free trial with our code, which is audible.com/page-to-picture. And it gives you 1 free credit, and it's a trial, so you don't have to, you're not losing anything, you're not paying anything. You're literally signing up for something for a free book. So you can try that out and listen to any book. It doesn't have to be a Nicholas Sparks book. It could be any book you want, but give it a shot. It's worth a try. And honestly, I love Audible. I know we say it every time, but like, I love Audible.
I didn't know I did. I was foolish in my ways back in the day.
I tried to get Kim into Audible books, and she's like, I don't know if I like it. And now she's like, oh my god, I'm listening to like 5 books a day.
That's literally, and I would like to say, people say that when they ask me how many books have I read, and I tell them, and they're like, but how many are Audibles? And I tell them, and they said, that's not really like reading. No, screw you, it is.
It's reading.
It's the same. And don't even worry about my speed limit being 1.5 or 2, because the way my speed is how I talk.
Yeah.
I like to listen to them talk normal. When you put out a 1, it sounds like they're going slow as a snail. Gotta bump it up a little bit just so it's like a normal, casual conversation. Yep. It is reading, okay?
Yeah.
In the club, we all fam. All right? It's reading. Because some of us
listen and we don't judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Some of us are sitting at work on our desks from 9 to 5. And instead of listening to music, I like to like put on a full book. And I just listen and I work, I giggle, what? And then I keep working. Hello?
Exactly. Not everyone has the luxury of just sitting at home and reading a book, which if you do, there's nothing wrong with that either. We wish we were doing that.
I wish I could.
I wish I could too, but sometimes Audible is the way to go. So.
Yeah. So do not feel ashamed. Audible is the same as reading. When I do my monthly recap, I always add the books that I read physically, the books that are on my Kindle, and the books that I listen to. And it's like 70, 20, 10.
70, 20, 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's reading is reading.
So I just want to put that out there because I was like, excuse me, it is the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
How dare you? You know who you are if you're listening.
Yeah.
Just there. Anyways, on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. And remember, love is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it.
So
that's
cute.
From Nichols Sparks. I knew this had like the cutest quote.
It really
Are you kidding me? Oh my god. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Oh, and do not forget we are holding a contest. We officially hit 15K on Instagram. That's all my confetti work.
Oh my god.
We are currently doing a giveaway that will end on February 12th, and the winner will be announced on Valentine's Day. All you have to do is tag a friend, follow us, like the post, and tell us what you're most excited about reading in 2025. And that's it. And we will go ahead and give you a book on your wish list. If it's Onyx Storm, we will go ahead and get you Onyx Storm. If it's whatever books, whatever, we will go ahead and gift it to you. So it's just a little thank you from us to you guys. We truly appreciate all the follows, the likes, the interactions. We literally love every single one of you guys. So thank you so much. So don't forget to enter. It's on our Instagram and it's pinned right at the top.
Yep. Yes, we do love you guys very much. And I love our little following, like the people that interact with our stuff. Like it's just
Yeah,
the community that we're around is like, I love it. You guys are
me
so
too.
cute.
The Bridgetown community is strong.
Yes. And if
I'll
you
leave it
don't
at that,
know,
too. I'll see you on the parapet.
yeah.
See if you last.
Okay.
Freaking kick them off.
Let me show them.
This is Spartan! Like, kick them off.
Oh my god.
You know?
I'm the Riddick watching it happen.
Somebody put, like, on her thing, somebody was like, she's totally Jack Barlow.
She is 100% Jack Barlow.
The comments are hilarious.
And we're all Riddicks because we're fucking funny in those comments.
Yeah, seriously. Everyone is so funny.
Love it. Anyways, enough on Storm. We're not talking about it. I haven't finished it yet.
How many chapters are you on left?
I don't know.
What chapter are you currently on? And that's how I'll know how many chapters you have left.
$37.
You're at a halfway point. There's like 60 chapters, 61.
I have this much left. Right here.
Okay. Text me at pivotal scenes. You will know, just like today when you texted me. And all I said was, text me when it happens and text me after. And you were texting me when it was happening. This is exactly how I felt. And you were texting me afterwards because that is also how I felt. Yeah. And we're going to leave the conversation at that.
Yes. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting, and for loving us like we love you. Just like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. And that's how you execute the outros. Bye.
Bye. Oh yeah, that was hilarious.